Hey everybody, welcome back to another video with Gem Mint Masters. I definitely have to apologize. I've been getting behind on my PSA reveals. If you can hear it in my voice, I've been battling this crazy seasonal allergy, sinus, whatever the heck you want to call it thing for about a week now. And man, I am finally just getting my voice back. And in that process, I've had about 3 PSA orders come back. And I was not able to do a reveal on them because I had a lot of pre-committed cards I had to get out to people, and I definitely did not want to hold that up. So I really was not able to get any reveal videos, but I'm going to throw up some numbers here on the screen on that bunch of orders that came, and just to kind of give you an idea of how we did. And then I'm going to show a couple cards that are highlights from that I actually did end up adding into my personal collection. But yeah, as you can see on the screen here, quick summary of that. Pretty typical lately, I would say, for a lot of the orders we've had come back. Some really nice highlights in there. Nothing too groundbreaking, but I think the 2 cards I'll show you here, you'll see in a second, are pretty awesome ones to get from there. Gem rate across these 3 orders was almost as weirdly identical to the projected gem rate, almost exact. I don't think I've ever seen it that close before. I think we had about 6 or 7 gems out of the 52 cards, which is probably one of our lower rates in a while. This next order that I'm actually going to show on here of 20, I think it's 23 cards, maybe 20, maybe a little bit more. We actually did much better on, so you'll see that here in a bit. But I'll go ahead and show these quick 2 cards we got. This was one I was really excited to add to the collection, the 1993 Hoops 5th anniversary. If you go back to one of my PSA pre-submissions, this is one of the cards I had said, if this doesn't get a 10, I'm gonna be dumbfounded, because this thing looked immaculate. And it got a 10, and I was excited about that. So definitely expected that one. This is one of the cleanest copies I've ever seen. I haven't seen a ton of these, but I love the way this card looks with that 5th anniversary. And it's a little bit thicker stock than the normal card, because these Hoops cards are pretty cheap. Cheaply made, that is. Very thin stock, but this one is really nice. And then this is the one I'm probably the most excited about. I had purchased a collection a while back, and this is one of the centerpieces of that collection, 1988 Fleer. Got a PSA 9, very nicely centered copy. And this one came back at 9. I was very excited. I honestly didn't expect it. Being one of the kind of older cards out of that bunch. And when you get these older cards like this, it's really hard to get high grades on. And this being a 9 clocks in at around $350, which is amazing. But you get a 10 in this card, which is very unlikely. You're talking $3,000 to $4,000. So super cool card. I'm really excited to add that to the collection. All right. So that is the recap of the previous order, but now we're going to do an actual stack and a fresh reveal on this one. So I will go ahead and just get into it. I'm going to try my best to keep this short talking wise, because I can't hardly talk at this point. I'm struggling big time. And yeah, so I'll show the cards. We'll get into it. I will give one quick sneak peek. There is a monster hiding in this stack. An absolute monster of a card that I just can't wait to show. But I'm going to leave you in suspense until we get to it. So, all right, first card. 1992 Hoops. We got a 10. Very low-end card, I would say. But, you know, like I've always said, I'm trying to get away from submitting low-end cards, but if I see a super clean copy, I'm going to do it. So I got one. There we go. That one is pretty awesome. Next one here, we have another low-end, but I'm a sucker for these base cards, and we got a 10 on this one as well, 1991 Upper Deck. Of all the Upper Deck base cards, I think this is probably the lowest of the value, and this is the first year that Upper Deck came out. Which makes it iconic on its own. So I love that card. A lot of Michael Jordan's base cards, they captured these poses so well, and they just look really cool. So I'm really happy to add to my collection. So we're starting off with 2 gems. Next one here is a head scratcher. And I think I know why, so I'm going to potentially test this out. 1992 Ultra All-NBA, got a 6. There's another one in here, and I'm going to go ahead and just spoil the surprise. It also got a 6. This is a card that had rounded corners. This particular set, I think this was Series 1, had rounded corners for some reason on their cards. And I don't know if the grader looked at this and thought that was something wrong with the card, but it's not. This card was in amazing condition, but it got a 6. So I don't know. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna look at this a little closer. And again, like I said, the other one also got a 6. And I'm gonna see if these are worth resubmitting or what, but definitely not worth it in a 6. It's a cool card. It has like a $300 to $400 value in a 10. I expected at least a 9 on those, so I got to go back and look and see. All right, here's a card I submitted 3 of in this order. We got a 9 on this one, 1995 Fleer. Super low-end card as far as raw goes, but really high value in a PSA 10. And even in a 9, this is like a $50 card. You'll see it on the screen, so I'm actually pretty happy on that one. Next one here. This is Ultra, 1992 Series 2. This is a card that has square corners. I'm still trying to figure out this set, to be honest, myself. This is Series 1, like I said. Series 2. This one has square corners. This got a 10. This is the Jam Session. So this was basically his Series 2 card because Michael Jordan did not have a base Series 2 card. So got another 10. Super excited on that one. All right. Now, this will probably be a much better example. Actually, no. I think this is a bad example. This is the Series 1 card, but this is the base card, and it does have square corners. So I think it was just the All-NBA set. I don't know. For anybody that's watching this, please educate me on this. What am I missing? Every single copy of this card that I've ever seen in my life has those rounded corners. All right, so this one, again, 92 Ultra, Series 1 base. Super valuable card in a 10, and we got a 10. Really excited about that. We did really well, if you can't tell, on this order. So I'm just going to keep rolling through here. All right, next card here, 1991 Skybox PSA 10. I've talked about this one before. This is a card that's pretty easy to gem, at least as far as the gem rate dictates. I have not had the best success getting gems of this for some reason, but I'm happy to add another one here. I already have this in the PC, so I will be selling that one. I think this is probably my 3rd or 4th copy of this one that I've gotten. I love the pose. It's a cool card, but I already have it. So again, a super cool PSA 10 to add to the collection. This card right here is one I'm on a mission to get. I know it's going to be tough, but I'm going to keep trying. So far, 1989 Fleer. I'm 2 for 2 on 9s on this card. Still a decent amount of value as far as what you'll pay for the raw card in a PSA 9. But this is a card that just was not centered well. Edges had a lot of issues. It's going to be really hard to find a clean copy of. So, but like I said, I'm on a mission to find it. PSA 10 value on this card is around $1,200. Crazy, because this is a $10 to $15 card. So PSA 9, happy with it, but hopefully someday I'll be able to say I got graded and got myself a 10. All right, next one here, 1992 Hoops, Supreme Court. First year of the Supreme Court cards. Got a 9. I believe this is the first. This might be the 2nd year, actually. But this was a cool one. It was actually a subset. You can see by the number, SC1. It actually says it on the front, too. But this is one I would love to have in a 10. Centering is a little hard to judge on this because it looks like it's not centered top to bottom, but it really is, because if you look at the left to right, the bottom margin should match. It's pretty close, but that could have been what did it. But a 9, not too disappointed. Pretty nice card. All right, next one here. I thought for sure, I've submitted a few of these. I thought for sure one of them would get a 10, but we didn't. The 1992 Skybox Olympic Team. Such a cool looking card. I would love to have this in a 10. Again, super cheap, $5 card. But, you know, not immense value in a 9, but it's one of those kind of like lower to mid value PSA 10s you could go out and buy as well. But just a cool looking card, so I would love to see that one in a 10. All right, next one here. I think I have 3 of this card in here. So we kind of took our shot at this. This is the 1995 Skybox Premium Career Total Block Wrong. I think all of them are like that. And I don't think there's a regular one that's not wrong. But on the back, if you look, it says he has 6,972 blocks. It's like tenfold. It should be like 660 or 600. Yeah, I think it should be like 600 total for his career. But yeah, so that's a cool one. A lot of value in a 9, ton of value in a 10. Just the base card, Skybox Premium. Skybox Premium base cards have a ton of value. Got a 9 on that one. Again, can't complain. So we're looking really at only 10s and 9s so far. So we did pretty well. All right, next card here. I almost did not send this. But I looked at the gem rates, and the gem rates were historically very high. And this card looked really good, so I did, and I'm glad I did. Got the 1997 UD Ultimates U1, got a 10. $350-ish card, gem rate of around 50%. But the population is low, so that's why the value is still a little bit high. But at the same point, the value you think would be a lot higher because it's a, you know, somewhat higher end card, but in a PSA 10, still in the 350 range, which a lot of people would say is pretty low. So I love this card. It's such a cool looking card. I'm so glad I submitted it. I paid about 30 bucks all in for this because it was part of a collection I bought. So I've already, you know, increased my value on this tenfold, and that's one going in my collection because I do not have that one. So I'm excited. All right, next one here, another 95 Fleer, and we got a 10. Again, super low end base card, but with a ton of value in a 10. You know, again, dictated by gem rates. Collectability, such a cool looking card, just got a lot going on, really colorful. In the back, you know, a lot of dark corners. So the fact that we got a 10 on this, very excited about. I had 3 of these in this order. Like I said, we've seen a 9 and a 10 so far. So we'll see what the next one is. Alrighty, next card here. This is one I definitely had high hopes for, and I'd love to have this in my collection as a 10, but 1998 UD Choice StarQuest Blue, we got a 9, which again, still not bad. If you don't know this set very well, the StarQuest especially, there is the blue, the red, the green, and the gold. The gold is numbered to 100. Almost impossible to find a copy of the gold. I actually submitted red for a friend. That's a pretty valuable one, and the green is also really valuable in a PSA 10. So I have a green with PSA, crossing my fingers, but not entirely optimistic that I'm going to get a 10, but this is the lowest value of them and in a PSA 10 or raw. So if you want to start somewhere, start with this blue. Again, pretty cool. Still like a $50 card in a PSA 9, so you're going to make some money on that. All right, next one here. I'm not going to go into it because I already talked about it. Got another 6. This one's just a mind boggler to me. I don't know what to do about this, but I'm going to go back and look at this again. Again, like I said, let me see if I can just kind of show it a little closer. You can see the corners are all rounded. That's just the way this card was. I don't know why it was that way, but it was. And every single copy I've ever seen in my entire life is that way. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm missing something apparently. All right, next card here, 1996 Fleer. This is actually a base card, but it's it looks like a really cool subset. Hardwood Leader. Got a 9 on this one. Card you can pick up for about $5 today. Decent value in a 9. Much better value in a 10, obviously. Probably in the $250, $300 range. So you want to find a really cool looking card for cheap in a PSA 10 that you can buy. This is probably one that would qualify as that, but cool looking card. I think I have some more of these with PSA. I just think this would be a cool card to have in the collection. And with a 9, not a bad one. All right. So I had said earlier in this video, there's a monster in here, and we're about to show this monster. This was a card I picked up on eBay for around, I think, $130. And then after my all-in fees with grading and all that stuff, I think we're at about $175. I didn't know what to expect on this, but I will just say the seller on eBay said this card is in mint. I got a ton of pictures. No corner issues that I could see, nothing. I got it. It looked great. I sent it. And if you don't know this card, I'll try to educate you as best I can on it. But hopefully those who know this card see it, they're going to be like, oh, man, that's awesome. Here we go. 1998 Skybox, Michael Jordan Thunder Boss. This was a card you got, I think, 1 or 2 in a box. These boxes are crazy expensive. This got a PSA 9. I actually didn't even know the value until I got it. This is about a $1,200 card. PSA 10, $6,000. Insanely awesome card. This card looked amazing, like I said, when I got it. It's got embossed all over here, all throughout. All the players and everything are embossed, and the back is embossed throughout as well. And this card looks amazing. 4 sharp corners. I think there's maybe just like one tiny little issue in the bottom left corner there, which maybe is what got it a 9. But man, this card had the potential, in my opinion, to get a 10. I'm a little torn on this because I try to only keep 10s in my collection. That's kind of my goal, but this is such a valuable card and such a rare card. I think it's a pop 24 in the 9, pop 6 in the PSA 10. So there's only 30 cards of this grade total or better. So I don't know. I'm torn. I might keep that one. I might hang on to it as just part of my own collection. But, you guys let me know what you would do with it. I know there's some good money to be made, but I don't know when I'm going to come across that card ever again. So, all right, next card here. And we got another 10. 1991 Hoops USA Olympic. I always love the look of these, so I just thought it'd be fun to sub one. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping this one in my collection. This could be a good one to sell or trade for something else, but I just thought it looked really nice. So I figured I'd submit that one. Decent value, but really not much value in a card like this because it's, that lower end 91 year, any of those cards. Right around that $100 range that doesn't really go too much higher. So, but again, very cool. Oops, that's a 9. I'm going to put that in the 9 stack because that is a pretty awesome card. All right, next one here. We got another pretty awesome 9. This is the second one of this I submitted, and I've gotten a 9 both times. Ultra famous nicknames. Card you can probably pick up for around 30 to 40 bucks, and it goes for about 150 in a 9. So good value there. And this card really does hold its condition pretty well. You should be able to find some pretty decent copies out there. Corners on the front and the back are all dark, so it's easy to spot anything. But just a cool card. I think it's one of those cards that, if you're a Michael Jordan collector, it's gonna be one that's on your list. So that one's pretty cool. Famous nicknames. I'll take that one all day, every day. All right, we got 2 more cards left. Another Michael Jordan Skybox Premium, so we got another 9. So I think we ended up with 2 9s on this one. So not too bad. We did not get a 10. Oh, and I think I did mention I had 3 of these in here. One thing I forgot to mention is PSA has now come out with this new service where they will send you an offer on your cards when you get them, when the grades come out. And I definitely took advantage of that on some of these. So you're seeing mostly 9s and 10s in here, which was the majority of this order. But at the end, I'll kind of include in the numbers. There were a few, I think, 9s and 8s that I also actually sold off with the offer. So that basically allows you to get some money on it and not have to worry about it coming back to you and trying to sell it or do whatever you want with it. But again, most of this order was 9s and 10s, but we were able to sell off a few of the other ones, which was pretty awesome. All right, last card in here. This is our 3rd of this, so we did really well in this 95 Fleer. We actually got 2 9s and a 10 on this one. So again, 10 is really where your value is, but I'm not going to complain about a 9 any day. So we got 2 of those 9s, still pretty decent value in a 9. A card you can pick up for a few bucks. This might be one to test out your process on, but look at the corners. You got to be careful with these because it does have some nice, dark corners on front and back. So you got to look at those close because there are a lot of bad copies out there too. But anyway, oh man, I can't believe I made it through with my voice. But thank you guys for joining me. This was long overdue. This was an awesome order. Super pumped. Again, I can't say enough about the behemoth in this one. Let's pull it out again. Throw that back on the top, that Thunder Boss. I'm really excited about that. I'm probably going to keep that one in my collection, like I said. It's just a really iconic, cool card to add to the collection that I just don't think I'll come across, anytime soon. So thanks for joining me. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. We should have some more reveals coming. I wish I could have shown all the hits from every order I've gotten recently, but man, I'm just getting back to normal here. So thanks for joining me. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.